Hi guys, it's Alyssa from Planet Alyssa here with my weekly What I Sold on Etsy report. First off, I have to apologize. I had every intention of getting out another video this week, but I kind of ran out of time. So I will be getting that to you perhaps this weekend or perhaps early next week. Now this week in my vintage Etsy shop, Planet Alyssa, I sold a total of 12 items for $166. A little bit slower than last week, but still a decent week. So let's take a look at the different items that sold this week. First item that sold this week is this cute little plaque. It's an old plaque which has a vintage illustration of a little boy peeing on it. And it also has the caption, "Never drink water." So a funny little thing. It sold for $18 and I picked this up at a church rummage sale. Another rummage sale find was this switch plate cover illustrated with strawberries on it. This is a new old stock item. You can't really tell in this picture, but it came in its original box and looked to have never been used. It sold for $15. This collection of literary classics sold for $30. I picked these up at a number of places. I tend to collect them as I go along and then put together different sets. I like to look for classics or nice older looking books or even some that fit a certain theme. One thing to keep in mind with books is while they can be expensive to ship if you're shipping them via priority mail, they are eligible to be shipped media mail if they're going within the US, which is significantly cheaper. I list this as an option on my listings a lot of times and ask buyers if they're interested to convo me, that is get in contact with me, and I can give them the lesser shipping quote if they're concerned about the high charges. Media mail does take a lot longer in terms of shipping. It can take weeks instead of days for an item to arrive. These vintage ladies gloves in a very light blue sold for $8. They're a tiny, very small size, couldn't fit my big hands. I picked these up at a thrift store. Another thrift store find was the set of 3 kitschy Souvenir Coasters, which sold for $5. And I believe this vintage wool University of Michigan hat also came from a thrift store. It sold for $10. It has a nice worn vintage feel to it. So nice for someone who's a hipster type or looking for an older style hat. This pewter vase sold for $8. I picked it up not too long ago at a yard sale. Hard to tell from this picture, but this is a smaller, skinnier sized vase. And another hat sold this week. This trucker style cap came from a church rummage sale. Another stationery set sold this week. I do tend to sell these pretty regularly. This one sold for $18. I picked it up at a thrift store. And I've noticed that a lot of the stationery sets tend to be international orders, so they end up paying quite a bit for shipping as well. So I guess there is some value in stationery. So if you see this, you want to pick it up. Another thing you want to look for is vintage sewing or craft kits. This is a vintage handbag or purse kit that comes in the box. It also has a few other pieces with it besides this handle here. I picked it up at a thrift store and this sold for $15. It's worth keeping in mind that Etsy does sell a lot of craft and handmade items, and so there is a big audience of DIY shoppers on Etsy who are interested in crafty things and craft projects. I don't sell or buy many oven mitts, but I sold this one this week for $7. I picked it up because it had Holly Hobby on it, so it's pretty cool, and it also looked like it had never been used, had a completely new look to it. And some more books sold this week. Again, this was a set of books. This was a set of 5 Tom Swift books, which sold for $24. So while you can sell individual books on Etsy, I do tend to have more luck if I can put them together in a lot or a set of some sort. So it might be worth it to you to save up some books and put them aside until you have enough to put together a little mini collection or lot to list on Etsy. Okay everyone, thank you for watching this video. I do put out new What I Sold videos every week, as well as, when I have the time, some other videos to help you get started selling vintage items on Etsy or to help you grow and expand your shop. Thanks for watching everyone. Take care and happy selling!